There was a farmer that lived out in the west of Ireland, and try as he might, he could never succeed at farming. He'd plant and he'd try to harvest, but really, in some parts of the country, unless you're planting rocks, you don't get much in return. And one day, as he was trying to plow the field again, he turned over a big stone and he got angry and frustrated. He kicked that stone and he said, "I'd sell my soul to the devil if my farm would just give me enough to send my kids to college." Well, sure enough, be careful what you ask for, because standing right in front of him was the old boy himself. And the farmer said, "What are you doing here?" And the devil says, "Oh, no, don't give me this. Let's just cut right to it. I'm a busy man." He says, "I heard your request and I'm willing to comply with it." He says, You're going to sell me your soul, and I'm going to give you enough years of success out here for you to be able to send your 3 boys to college." And the man says, "How quickly is this contract close?" And the devil says, "Well, I'll tell you what, I'll give you some time. How about 21 years, and then I come back for you?" The man thinks about it, and he thinks about his sons, and he thinks, all right. So the devil unfolds a contract, and the man signs it down there at the bottom. He rolls it back up, and the devil says, "You're on. I'll see you in 21 years. Well, it was amazing how well the crop grew that year, and the next, and the next, and the next. And for 21 years, things went really well. And all 3 of the boys grew up to be great successes. One of them went off to the university and became a doctor. One of them became a lawyer. One of them became a priest, and we all know how that makes an Irish mom happy. Well, the man pretty much forgot that day as things were going well. It just seemed to turn into an old dream from so long ago. Until he got up close to that anniversary, that 21-year mark. Then he started to panic. And he called his sons to him and he says, "I've got to tell you something." And the 3 say, "What?" He said, "You know all the success that you've had, and I'm proud of you. But it didn't all happen because of your hard work, and it didn't even happen because of mine. I kind of made a deal for you." And they said, "What kind of a deal?" He said, "Well, I sold my soul to the devil in order to get enough to send you all 3 to the college." And they said, "And how long does this contract go?" He says, "It was 21 years. And they said, "Well, when's that up?" He said, "Tonight." And they said, Don't you worry. We'll help you get out of this," they said. And so it was, as they were getting up close to midnight, the 3 sons are gathered with their father in their father's little house. And poof, in a burst of sulfuric smoke comes Satan himself. He says, "What are you doing here?" And the 3 boys said, "Well, we're his sons, and we're here to tell you you can't take our father now." And the devil says, "Well, why can't I?" And the first one steps up. He says, "Because I'm a doctor, and I'm going to tell you the truth, he's not healthy enough for the journey." And the devil says, "You don't have to be healthy to die." He says, "Get out of here. That doesn't count." So he steps back and he looks at his father and he says, "I tried." The second son steps up and he says, "Well, you can't take him." And he says, "Why not?" He says, "I'm a priest and I know what you're doing is evil." And the devil says, "You really don't understand a whole lot for being a priest. Me and the Lord, we've got an agreement. If I can work it out with you, he honors all agreements." And he says, "That doesn't count." And this priest steps back and he looks at his father and he says, "You're cooked." And the third one steps up and he says, "Well, wait a minute. I'm a lawyer." And the devil says, "I should have known." He says, "I want to see the contract." And the devil says, hands him the contract and he unrolls it. And he's reading through the part that says the party, the first part, and the part that says the party, the second part, and in terms of the agreement and the understanding. And he gets all the way down to the bottom and he says, "Yeah, you even got this signature notarized." And he looks over at his father and he says, "You're pretty much sealed." And he hands the contract back to the devil and he says, "Can we just ask one small request?" And the devil says, "And what would that be?" He says, "Can he have a little time to say his prayers?" And the devil says, "How much time does he need for his prayers?" He says, "Oh, I don't know. You see over there that candle on that ledge? That one that's about this tall? Can you give him until it burns all the way down to the bottom?" And the devil says, "All right, that I can do." So he says to his father, "Go ahead and start praying." And he walks over to the candle and on that flame. As far as I know, today, even now, that candle never has burned all the way down to the bottom. So it's possible that you can beat the old boy. And that is my story.